Hello YouTube, this is the RC Crash Project, and I'll get into what that's all about here very shortly. Now I gotta tell you, I am new to YouTube, I'm new to video editing, I don't have a lot of fancy equipment, I don't have much to start with here, but hopefully you guys will bear with me and I will get much better over time and I'll be able to bring you a lot more products, a lot more content. So let's get started on this. Okay, so as for a little bit about me, I've been in and out of the RC hobby ever since I was a child. I think the first time I picked up a transmitter I was like maybe 5-6 years old, and I got to fly a plane and I really enjoyed it, so I've been in and out of the hobby ever since. Now it's been about 12-14 years or so since I've been in the hobby, and I primarily got out of it for two reasons: one, financial, and two, my disability. But over the last several months I've been getting back into it. I've started with the small stuff here. It's something, and I'm really enjoying myself again. Hopefully I can work my way back up. Now, the other thing about me is, yes, I am legally disabled. I am a severe germaphobe, and I have been a germaphobe my entire life. So starting this channel is going to be pretty rough. That's the next thing I wanted to talk about, is how I'm going to support this channel. At this point, I really honestly do not know. I've heard a lot of people say you can do affiliate marketing, you can do advertisements, a couple other things I've heard mentioned about how you can support your YouTube channel. So at this point, I'm just going to wing it, and hopefully I can gain the support of some people and get this channel going. As for what we're going to be doing on this channel, it's going to be anything and everything I can get my hands on that has to do with RC. We're going to be doing cars, trucks, quadcopters, helicopters, planes. Boats we're not going to be doing because there's nowhere to run boats around here. Unless you want to see me run around my bathtub, and I don't think that's going to work out too well. Planes, not so much, because I've never been that great with flying planes. But if I do get one, I'll do a review and fly it, and hopefully I don't crash it. But we are going to be starting out with quadcopters, because that's what I started getting back into the RC hobby here with. And I do have a couple sitting back here, and I have a couple others laying around. So that's what we're going to be starting with. Product reviews. I am going to be doing product reviews. I will be 100% straight up and unbiased with my reviews. I am not going to sugarcoat a serious problem with something just to appease the gods. I will be straight up with you. If I see a serious problem, I'm going to say so. If I don't like something about a product, I'm going to say so. If I have a personal preference that you may like and I may dislike, or vice versa, I will say so. But I will also be doing update reviews. Let's say if I get a product and 8 uses later, it just quits on me. I'm going to come back and say, hey, I used this 8 times, it quit. This is what's going on with it. We'll find out what happens if I have to contact a manufacturer. I will let you know all these things about how the customer service is, everything if I have to contact them. I will do everything I can to give you the best possible information to make the best decision you can make in anything you buy. We're going to be doing things like side projects, little updates, upgrades, modifications, you name it. If it has to do with RC and I can come up with the idea, I'm going to do it. So that's what all we're going to be doing here. There's probably going to be a lot more. It's just I haven't thought of it right now for this intro video. So as for what the RC Crash Project is about, well, first of all, I want to say that the word crash in the RC hobby is a very dirty word. If you're out, say at a weekend thing or an event or something, and people are out there racing, flying, whatever, and the word crash is mentioned, whoever hears it is expecting themselves or someone else to crash almost immediately. They're very superstitious about that word. Myself, I've never been superstitious about the word crash. It's just another word. It's also inevitable in the RC hobby. I don't care how good you are. I don't care how good your equipment is. At some point, you're going to crash no matter what. You're going to have to repair something at some point. But that's not what the RC Crash Project is all about. What the RC Crash Project is about crashing through the rules of society. Now we're talking about the rules that society dictates about disabled people, bullying victims, kids or adults, low-income people, people that have no options in their area. These are the rules we're talking about. The ones that society says, we don't want you here, we don't need you here. Those are the rules I'm talking about. Now, all people in these situations, like disabled, bullying victims, whether you're adults or kids, low income, so on, we all have a couple of things in common. One is we're all being bullied in some way. Society is saying we don't want you here, we don't need you here. We're all being pushed away from society. Society with all these toxic people are the ones making the rules about us. They don't want us around. So what do we end up doing? We end up giving up. We get tired of hearing it, lock ourselves away in our houses, and we just rot away. We don't talk to anybody. We don't do anything. We just give up. So what we're doing at the RC Crash Project is we're talking about inspiration here. You don't have to do RC. You just got to find your hobby. You got to find what you enjoy. You got to get out there and meet people. Even though you got to weed through all the toxic people to find those few good people, you got to meet those few good people that like the same hobbies, that can respect you for who you are and what you are, and you can enjoy life with. I don't care what your hobby is. I don't care if it's board games, card games, Dungeons and Dragons. I don't care if it's crafts, sewing. I don't care if it's woodworking, RC. It doesn't matter what your hobby is. I don't care if your hobby is just doing math puzzles, things like that. Magic tricks. I mean, whatever. There's going to be people out there that can enjoy it with you and respect you for who you are and have fun with. Disabled people. I don't care how bad your disability is. There's always going to be something that you can do that you can enjoy. And you're always going to be able to find those good people that can enjoy it with you and respect you for who and what you are. So this is what we're all about here. The RC Crash Project is about crashing through the rules that the toxic people of society dictate to all of us, that they don't want us here, they don't need us here. I'm sure all the people out there in these situations have heard things like, oh, you're a freak, we don't want you here, you're useless, you're worthless, you're a nerd, you're a geek, you're garbage, and just all kinds of things. And that, in essence, it's all the same thing. We're all being bullied. And so the toxic people are the ones writing the rules. We're crashing through those rules. Get out there and do things. Now, I could go into a lot more detail with this, but I really don't want this video to be too long. It probably already is. But I don't want anybody to become an extremist with this. Yeah, we're crashing through the rules of society with all the toxic people saying they don't want us here. But we don't want to retaliate. What we want to do is just be ourselves, be good people, set an example. There's one other thing I want to talk about here is the fact that if somebody doesn't have any options in their area. My area is a good example. There's sports. There's several different sports here, and there's a community center with weights and a basketball courts and a swimming pool and a couple other things in there that aren't very friendly to everybody. But it's expensive to go there, and a lot of people can't afford it. So they end up getting into bad situations, and getting into bad things because they're bored. Boredom just gets them into the bad stuff. Now, the kids around here, what if they don't qualify for sports? What if they can't play sports because of a disability? There's nothing else around here to do. So these kids end up getting into bad crowds, they get into bad things. Instead of doing that, find a hobby that you enjoy that you can do on the cheap. And just find some people that like it and can enjoy it with you, can respect you for who you are. That's what we're talking about here. It's all about the inspiration of getting up, getting out, crashing through those rules of society that all the toxic people dictate to us, and doing something to enjoy life and finding those few good people to enjoy it with. So the last thing is, where do I want this to go? I'm going to try to be very brief here because I've already let this video go a lot longer than I wanted it to. But I would like to see facilities opened, not just in my community, but in other communities. I would like to try to open these facilities myself even, to give people options, not just disabled or bullying victims or low income. I would like to see these options open for everyone. I don't want to exclude anyone, but with society today, there are people that are going to cause problems that you're going to have to tell them to stay away. But I really don't want to have to do that. I want it to be a place where everybody can be a community, no matter what your hobbies, no matter what your disabilities, no matter what your situation is, and respect each other, learn from each other, and enjoy life. That's where I want it to go. Options out there for everyone. So I really appreciate you listening to me rant. I really appreciate you listening to this intro video, even though it was a lot longer than I wanted it to be. And I really hope you'll support this channel and help support me in my vision here. So I thank you for watching this. The RC Crash Project, we're not just about RC, we're about inspiration. And we're about giving options to people. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video.